Okay, hey, welcome. If you are watching the replay, this is just going to be an open-ended Q&A. If anyone happens to join me, I am on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X. You can watch this. And if there's anyone there, if you can tell me if you can hear me, that would be helpful. But other than that, I'm just going to go into what I was going to talk about and any questions. It's an Ask Me Anything, so please interrupt me and I will answer those questions. I should see comments if you can hear me, but maybe no one's watching yet. Or no one will tune in. That's entirely possible. I just hate the Instagram. Oh, I want to just make some adjustments on Instagram. They don't really let you do much, do they? Like, it's wicked underexposed. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm not this tan. It's because of the white background. So that's something to think about when you're live streaming. Like, this is, if you have white, the camera in the phone is gonna automatically calibrate to find happy middle. So if you have a lot of bright things, so the wall behind me, my face is white, I have a light shirt on, all these things are going to make things darker because it's trying to find that middle, right? So if I put on a dark shirt, which I probably should have, this would brighten my face on Instagram. But I look tan on Instagram. All right. Is anyone there? Can you hear me? All right. So I'm going to talk about social media and the workshop I did, which was amazing. I learned so much from doing that and really, I think, got my message out. I don't know. But like the whole process of it was pretty incredible and it's a really cool process. So I posted a video that goes into my step-by-step process for creating the course from scratch, basically. It's like, so I have some understanding and knowledge. There were some things I had to learn. And from there, I was able to build a presentation that was just full of value, full of stuff. Like there was so much in there that I'm like, I wish I had done this sooner because a lot of it I did do. And then a lot of it I did as I was building the course. And I realized all the things that I should have been doing. And it's just really changed things for me too, doing the exercises and that. So that was kind of interesting. So one of the big ones is, the authentic voice that we're all supposed to have and all supposed to understand what that means. And I think it's very confusing unless you do the actual work to figure out who you are. And if you're anything like me, kind of just like floating around in space, hoping that it just kind of all falls into line and somehow makes sense one day magically without actually having to like do that kind of introspection and understand your life and how it's influenced you and made you who you are, both good and bad. So, and anyone who pops in, please feel free to dump a question. I'm just rambling because there's no one here yet, or no one's tuning in, or no one's asking questions, one or the other, or you can't hear me. If you can't hear me, tell me. And so where was I going with that? Yeah, so there's a lot of work that you have to do to understand who you are, because it doesn't just one day a light bulb aha moment. And so that's why in this course, like a huge portion of it, about a third of it, is just like understanding who you are, how you use social media is a part of that. And then like digging into your background and your life story and putting it out on paper and then translating that to however you're going to put that out to your audience. And even just knowing this stuff, kind of just knowing it and understanding it about yourself makes it so much easier to just kind of do things like this. Like, this doesn't bother me at all. My heart rate, I have my Fitbit on. It's 93. It's a little hot, a little high. I'm, just sitting around working. I'd probably be, high 70s, lower 80s. So I'm a little high, but it is a hot day, hot humidity. I'll check my stats, but I don't feel uncomfortable doing this because I'm okay with everything in my story and everything I've done. And I have that confidence behind me. So that was a huge part for me. And so that's why I made it a huge part of the class I made. And the exercises in there are kind of deep, and I can't afford therapy, so I just did those. Yeah, helped. Okay, so that was the social media bit. I want to talk about Squarespace too, because Squarespace has this really cool feature now where you can put in courses in there, and it's so easy. So if you're hosting courses on another site, I can't remember the names of the places that do courses. But they will host the course for you and do maybe a little promotion for you, put them on their website, and take a percentage and everything. But Squarespace has a system now where you can put your courses in your website, like they're just in your website. They're just part of it. So it's not like you're sending people somewhere else. So that for me is a big thing with websites. There's so many places that are trying to distract you and take you away from your website when you're either visiting one or you have one that you want your audience to congregate on. And so because of that, it's hard for people to find your stuff. And it happens to me all the time. I'll have an interest in something that someone's doing, and I want to learn more or whatever. So I don't know, I go to their website. If I can't find it immediately on whatever social media I'm on, I'll go to their website and look for it. And then 9 times out of 10, I mean, it's a high number. It might be even like 95 out of 100 websites for people when I want to seek out more information. It's not there. It's not there. It either sends me to a link tree with like 5 different social medias, or a website that just has like a contact form for your representation or whatever. But what if I'm just like a fan and I just want to find this thing that you were talking about, or that you offer or you sell, and now I have to like literally go on Google and try and figure out where it is, or like send a support ticket or like an email, a contact form, DMs. Like, that's probably why you get a lot of DMs, like, because the information isn't there. If you have a significant following, so if you just give the people what they're looking for, it makes it a lot easier for everybody. So anyway, at the end of that rant, and again, anyone watching, if you have a question about anything, like this is literally a Q&A, ask me anything, please put it in the chat. I should be able to see it. Yep, I have the comments on. So wherever you're at, I should be able to see your comment if you have a question about anything. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep rambling for an hour. So Squarespace makes, I don't have an affiliation with Squarespace. I'm a Circle member, which means I get like a discount on a website subscription, and I can like see what they're beta testing and try new features. But I don't have any kind of referral or affiliate association with them. Like, I get nothing back from talking about them. I'm in my ice coffee era right now. This started a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it's good. It's good. So I figured out like, oh, I can just brew a pot of coffee and put it in the fridge and then put ice cubes. It's good. So Squarespace, they have it so you can have everything on your page, on your website. Like, and I'm gonna like I have no affiliation with them, but I'm using it for for my website because like I don't want to have 10 places to check things. I don't want to have one place that is my like where my courses are going to be hosted, and then I have another place where I have to go where I'd have an online store. Like if I, for example, hypothetically, not hypothetically, I sell my photography. So if I had to send people to another place on the internet to buy my photo prints, like why would I want to deal with that, me as the person building the website? So again, if anyone watching has any questions, show them in the chat. I will see that and answer. Otherwise, I will just keep talking. And I'm just talking about right now about Squarespace, but we can talk about social media too if someone wants to derail, please. So because of Squarespace, I'm able to have all that on one website. There are other places where you can do something like that, but it's like you have to have plugins, and some of those plugins cost extra fees, and that's fine. Like people are making really cool products, and like for a Shopify store for example, there's like amazing plugins that can do probably everything I'm talking about. But it is like now I'm dealing with another company. Now I'm dealing with another place I probably have to go log into. It's another place I have to create a password and an account with. It's another place that if it doesn't integrate perfectly, if there's bugs, now I have to deal with that and troubleshoot that. Or the company just goes under or decides we're shutting down or we're not updating anymore. Now it's gone. So these are all things that kind of led me to, okay, fine, I'll pay the crazy fees that Squarespace charges. And I'll just go with that. So the courses in Squarespace is one thing that I'm like really into. They just kind of put this in, I don't know, 2 months ago. And it's so easy to build a course. So if anyone's interested in seeing that, I can show you how it is on the back side of things. So you can see how actually, it's not that much work to put up a comprehensive course for whatever topic. The only bump in the road is the video content. They charge for the storage of the videos. Makes sense. And cost of doing business, right? And so I'm kind of running into that hump right now because now I'm reached the limit of how many hours of videos I've allowed. So now I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to upgrade, but my website's new. I mean, I've been doing stuff forever, but I kind of just rebuilt my website, and I have a course that I'm putting out step by step, how to build it, how I built it, like everything. I just recorded myself actually literally building my website. So that will be available soon. It's kind of just in the beta phase right now. And it has a template and everything that's coming with that. So if you're thinking about building a website and you want to put out courses and all that, follow me, stay tuned, because I will be making that available to everyone very soon. All right. And other things that you can do on the Squarespace site. So I was talking about, you can do the courses and you can do the online store all in there. So it's not like you're sending people to another page, just another website. You don't have like 6 different websites and you're just sending people across the internet. They just click shop and it's on your website and it's a shop. And you can have email marketing is another one that I really love how it's integrated into the website. You can have the same color palette and you can pull in the similar fonts and you can easily link to things. So you're creating your email and then you want to put in all these buttons and links to take people places. It's like, it's all in there. very easy, and it's reasonably priced for what you get. There's automations, so I love that feature. Then you can put in Acuity scheduling, which Squarespace owns. So you can put in scheduling, you can put in, booking calls, in-person services, whatever you're doing. So, this is why I'm going with went with Squarespace for my website, and you can go visit the site and see how it is. It's kind of in progress. I've had it for, let's see, when I launch it in May, so about a month. Yeah, so if anyone has any questions at all about social media, about websites, put it in there. I'd love for someone to really see if they can stump me, because I have an opinion and thoughts on pretty much everything. And if I don't know something, I will let you know. And Cricket says hi. Hi, Cricket. Good to see you. FinFam in the house. So awesome to have that group of people to, tune in and support and say hi and everything. So the whole time, I like the idea of tying in social media and what you're putting out on social media and tying that into your website, and of course onboarding people onto your website in some way, either as they subscribe to your email list so you can start sending out newsletters, or you can start getting them into like a course if you create a course, or you can get them to, if they are interested in buying something from you, like if I have photography prints and I want to put that out to my social media following, they can easily find it on my website, all this stuff. So that's kind of how I like to tie in social media. But when building an audience on social media, if you have nothing, I mean, I'm not someone who's here saying I have a huge following. I certainly don't. I have a lot of work to do. And part of that for me is to put myself out there as me authentically and be like 100% okay with that. If there's any sort of like issues or problems that I have, I'm just going to fix that. Okay. As far as like how I feel about myself and all that, and confidence and everything, it's like pretty hard to just put yourself out there and be okay with it. So that was a lot of what I talked about in my social media workshop that I hosted over the last weekend, which was so awesome. So awesome. And if you're interested in doing something like that, highly suggest it. Come up with a topic. And I gave away my whole system of how I did it. Like it's all there. I put it in a post. I posted it yesterday. You can find that on wherever you're seeing this. I think I put it everywhere. Maybe not on Facebook, but I put it everywhere else. I put it on YouTube, Instagram, X. So you can watch that. And I have it all there. And Joe's here. Hey, Joe. And more of the Fin Fam in the house. Love my Fin Fam. So much fun. But if anyone has any questions, throw them in the chat. I will see those. So I'm happy to answer, or else I'm just going to keep rambling until 2:00. I can just talk. I can talk about anything, and I would love someone to try and like throw a curveball. So I talked about the tips I had for kind of finding your authentic self and in social media and putting yourself out there with confidence in that way. And it's a lot of work, and you actually have to do it, or else you can't fake it. You can't fake it, because 100%, if you're not 100% you when you put yourself out there, like people aren't going to respond to that. They're just not. So you have to do that kind of work where you really look at your life and understand who you are and how you got to where you are, and just confront it because it's just hard to put yourself out there. So if you can be confident with that, it's fine. And Joe asks, is there any reason you didn't do a space? I didn't do a space because I wanted to live stream to like everywhere, because I have people on Instagram that will never go on X. That's fine. I don't care. I mean, that's people do what they want. And then I have friends of mine are on Facebook that are just like my personal friends and might want to tune in. So I wanted to stream to Facebook as well. And then YouTube, of course, always trying to build up YouTube people and following. So that's why not a space. If I could, I have Instagram on my phone here right next to me. And if there was a way I had another phone, I could probably put it on the table here and do a space as well at the same time. But yeah, it's just so easy because I use StreamYard, like Alex uses StreamYard, and I love it. I've been using it for a long time. I use it to actually just like record videos at my computer, and it's been really cool for that. And being able to just like click a few buttons and then live, and now I'm at all these platforms. It just makes it so easy, so easy. Yeah, yeah. So let's see. Another thing, I wanted to touch base on was tying in like social media and onboarding people in that way of like either getting them onto a newsletter or to buy something from you, or if you offer a PDF, an ebook, something like that, or if you have a physical product, getting that to them. And what I've found is a really good strategy, and I've been really trying to implement it, is instead of just telling people like, okay, soon I'm going to have this, soon I'm going to do this, soon you'll see this, just kind of showing people what you're doing. So I have been building my website in the months of March and April. And during that time, I wasn't just I was rebuilding it. I've had like 50 versions of my own website over the years, but I was like, okay, this is going to be the one. This is the direction I'm going in. So I was building that over a couple months, and I was recording myself doing that. And while I was recording myself doing that, I was literally putting that out on social media. So if anyone's followed me during that time, they saw those videos, and they were there for anyone to watch and learn how to use Squarespace. And I don't know if people got something out of that or not, but by the end of it, I had my website and I had a full course of how to build a website. So for me, it was like, okay, some people saw it and probably got something out of it. And then I got a course out of it that I can put on my website. And then anyone who maybe saw those posts but wasn't ready, they're going to be aware of it. And I have a lot of content to use. So, that was my strategy on that. And without a huge following, obviously, it's not like I had people signing up like crazy, but I got a few very valuable people, because I was just putting it out there very raw as me, not trying to pretend to be anything that I'm not, and just putting it out there as I was doing it. And I got some really good people in there who give me great feedback, give me great thoughts, and fantastic ideas for going forward. Because like anytime someone asks me a question about Squarespace, for example, and I've already built a course on how to build a Squarespace website, and then someone asks me a question, boom, there's another video, right? So it's just like once you kind of give this stuff away, it just more of it comes to you. It's pretty amazing. And Cricket asks, do you need, I think I can pull up the comment here. Do you need to know how to code? And if you're talking about using Squarespace, it's all drag and drop builder type stuff. It's very intuitive, and you can do custom code. So if you do know like CSS code or HTML, you can add on to the website that way, which I do a lot of custom code for CSS because I'm very like, the aesthetics of things are very important to me. And if something's just not right and I can't fix it with their tools, then I do like to do custom code. But you don't need to. You don't need to. Like the template I built that I'm going to hopefully have out soon to actually have for people to use as like a base to build something if they want to. I made it so that you don't have to add any kind of custom code to it. It's just this other stuff. If you want to, you can. If that didn't answer your question, let me know. Yeah, no, I can build a website writing the HTML and or use WordPress and really dig in there. But I don't want to do that. Like, I got stuff to do, you know? As a entrepreneur, solopreneur, my time is the most valuable thing that I have. It's my time. And if I'm doing something that is going to take me 3 months, when really, if I sat down and tried to build my website and just like sat down and focused on that, I could have that done in a week. Like, it could be done with all the blogs and all the course content and everything. But I live in the real world. I have work, I have jobs, I have gigs, I have things I have going on. So I have to delegate my time. So I work on my website, maybe an hour a day or a couple hours every other day, something like that. Or when something comes to me, I add it in between things. So building something from scratch, it's like, why would you do that these days? I don't know why people do it. People certainly do it, and they make amazing stuff, and someday get to a point where I could do something like that, to make something super creative for myself. But these tools that are available right out of the box, I really enjoy. So Joe's got a question here. So, how do you break down your content into important stuff? I always find I'm full of ideas, but getting it down is tough. Yeah. So I have that problem too. Like, once I kind of did all this self-help work on myself and understanding like me, I can't, it's like a fire hose. I have like too much information and getting it out of me. And so I've been talking to ChatGPT 4.0 on my phone. And it's been great to, when I have something, I just kind of have a little mini conversation. So you open the app and you touch the headphone icon, and then you can have a conversation back and forth with ChatGPT. And it helps me just get it out, first of all, because I have so much coming out. And then once I do have that at the end of the conversation, when I'm like, okay, I'm done, I ask ChatGPT, can you just like summarize all the important points we talked about? And then that way, when I can go back into ChatGPT on my desktop or laptop, the conversation's there, and at the end is like a summary, and I can kind of pick out points and stuff. And other thing, and I write things down. I have piles of these, I just write it. And so I've been really excited about AI since it came out, because someone who's constantly has ideas and things and thoughts and stuff, being able to just get it out and have the AI deal with it has been just like awesome. But yeah, and then the problem is I'm having this problem where I have like the post I did yesterday with how I built the course with no experience, or a workshop or keynote presentation. It's all the same thing to me, from scratch. It's like I use ChatGPT to get, like, I just told it like the steps I did when I was talking to it. I told them all my steps, like from beginning to end, the whole story. And then we kind of broke it up, and it became too much. I realize now, like, it was too much. And I think I'm going to make it into an article. I've made it into a blog post on my website, so it's a little bit more consumable. But I'm thinking I'm going to make it into like an article that you can kind of break it down that way. And then you realize once you kind of do something like that conversation I had with ChatGPT, we broke it down. It came out to like 12 points. It's like 12 steps essentially throughout the time it took me to build the course, the class. And each one of those 12 steps is, I mean, I could do an hour video on each one of those, or I could do a post on one of those. And you could even break it down further. So you get these ideas out of you, and then you just like, I have to work on that too, breaking it down, like taking that one idea and then bringing in the other things that tie it all together, that are really the important parts, and just tell people. So there's there's so much. There's so much. I'm not afraid to just tell people whatever it is I know. Like, I'm not gatekeeping any of my information, because it's all it's going to do is help and give me more ideas, because more people will bring questions, and now I've got more ideas, more content, you know, spun off of other content. So if anyone has any questions, either watching wherever you're watching, put it in the chat, and on Instagram, wherever you're at, drop a question. I'm talking about social media, finding your authentic voice, talking about Squarespace a little bit, how I tie it all together. So if any of those topics are like things that you're like, I'm not sure, maybe you don't know what the question is, just put a thought in there, and then hopefully I can help in some way. One of the things I was going to talk about, one of the exercises that really, really changed things for me when it came to just putting myself out there and being able to do videos like this and be like, whatever, I'll just do a live stream. I didn't prep for days. I put out a notification so people would be aware of it, and I'd hopefully get some people to show up. And I had a couple topics, but one of the things that I did that really, just really broke through and got to me was I did my timeline of my life. And as crazy as that sounds, writing that down will shatter your world. It's just something that people don't do. We just think in our heads like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that happened. And then we move on. When you have to write it down and see it all in front of you, and I'm talking about all your wins, everything throughout your life, graduating college, doing a workshop and getting a certificate, promotion at work, all this stuff that's super positive that we, are excited to share and have no problem putting up there. But then also the stuff like, oh, I failed, like I walked away from a successful business. That's hard to face, or personal failures. We all can relate to that. We can all relate to that. You can see I'm getting uncomfortable, right? Just even thinking about those things. But that's who I am. That's what I am, what made me who I am today. And also putting in with all those stories, what was I doing? What was I doing? So doing this, I realized I've been making websites since 1998. For fun. So why am I not doing that for other people? Right? And why am I not giving out what I know to other people? What's blocking me from doing that? So it's like, what was I doing when no one's watching, when I have free time? I'm building websites for like various things I'm doing. So why am I not just sharing that with the world and giving out my knowledge and helping people with that? So I kind of partially came to that realization and was able to be like, oh yeah, I could just do this. So I started doing that more. And I was always kind of doing it. Like I had a few clients here and there, but now I'm like, okay, I can do this. Because I've seen it on paper, literally in front of me. All the stuff I've built my whole life, all these websites, and the success that they had, whether they lasted a long time or just ended, not because of something of me or because something changed in life, but they all worked and they were all good and they were all successful in their own way. So It's very, very interesting. So I highly recommend, if you're struggling with that, sitting down, you don't have to do it all in one go, but going back to it, checking on things, and seeing how, your life came together. And I've got a request from one of my clients, one of my amazing clients, Rooted Wellness Company. If you are in Massachusetts, be sure to check it out on Instagram. But I'm not going to pull you up, Carrie, because I'm live streaming all over the world right now. so if I pull you up on Instagram, unfortunately, the people on my other platforms won't be able to see, but I would love to. So, I know you'll say amazing things, because we worked on an amazing project together. That's just, it's always ongoing. But I know the struggles we've gone through building her business up from, it was just amazing. So she's going through all this stuff too. Yeah. I'm going to just put this comment up from Joe here. It helps to have event and explain what you enjoy to people that might like it. Right. Exactly. Like, there's a lot of things about me that I don't put out there. And I'm like, why don't these people think this about me? And it's because, well, they don't know. They're strangers. They don't know anything about me. So I have to slowly put information out there, or remind people, like, I went through a pretty serious crisis over the winter and I put it all out there. But there's plenty of people that follow me now that have not seen any of that. So they have no context about, like, how tragic a winter I had. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm not going to get into that, but it's life, and we all relate to that. Let's see. Anyone have any questions about social media, websites, anything like that? Throw it in the comments and I will answer those questions. I'm going to go till 2:00, and unless, some reason I get a ton of questions, I'll go as long as people want. Yeah. So the looking at everything throughout your life, that was a big game changer for me, for sure. And before, I will say, like a year ago, I was just kind of here and there on social media. I wasn't really on it. I didn't like it. I didn't like any of it at all. I was probably pretty dormant on social media since 2017. And then once the little bit I did do, kind of just like to maintain that I was alive to people, I guess. Once the pandemic hit, I shut it all off. I just I couldn't do it. And it looks like there's a question on Instagram. I don't know. Facebook ads. Oh, that's a great question. So my friend Carrie, Rooted Wellness Company, asks, are Facebook ads worth it? And that's a very good question. So if you're going to advertise, Facebook ads are probably the best, for where your money's going to go. If you're a local business, I'll say that. If you're a local business, she's a local business. So if you're going to advertise, that's where I would put my money if I had a local business, 100%. But you have to do a lot of work first. You can't just say, okay, I'm just going to throw up, like they do the boost post thing, and they put that out there. They do that on Instagram and a lot of other places too. If you do the boost post thing, the problem with that is that that's a money grab from them, because it's basically, they're just going to put your ad out and decide everything about it, who they're going to show it to, and that's it. And it may work and it may not. But if you're going to do Facebook ads or any ads on any social media, you really want to target those ads to exactly who your audience is. And So for like Carrie's business, Rooted Wellness Company, which is like a yoga studio, and they have massage services and lots of wellness stuff going on. That's a very niche, and where they're located in Massachusetts, a very niche specific audience that if you did advertise on Facebook, you would want to really drill that down and understand. And we have a pretty good idea of who your customer is. But if you're going to do Facebook ads, you would want to make sure it's tailor made for that audience, and would be effective to reach people that maybe haven't found you yet. And part of social media is to hopefully reach out and get in front of people that maybe hopefully they'll find us. The algorithm will somehow put us in front of the right person, and they're going to find us. So it's very hard to do that because the algorithms don't necessarily want to do that anymore. They used to. You used to see a lot of really interesting things and when I say local business, that's why I always am talking about Facebook for local business, because they still kind of do that. If you're local, you will see more local related stuff on Facebook than you will on pretty much any other platform. Occasionally on Instagram I do, because I do follow a lot of local things deliberately, but I don't think I would if I didn't do that. So that's where Facebook's still pretty powerful if you're trying to reach a local audience, local market. So Facebook ads, just like social media, you want to target that ideal customer. And in my workshop, I talked about finding your ideal follower. And it's the same thing if you're going to run ads. You need to know your ideal customer. And you want to market to them and then find them because they haven't found you yet. And social media is the same way. So if you come up with that approach, not necessarily specifically making ads for your audience or not ads, but posts, and you can translate that to ads, not making posts for your existing audience to see, but making posts for your ideal audience to see. So who do you want to attract, and making posts for them, and showing that, hopefully that's how you reach more people. Difference between boosting a post and an ad. So boosting a post is you're just giving Facebook some money and say, hey, show this to more people. And I think you can do settings in there to narrow it down a little bit, so it's not just random. But that's basically what you're doing, is like, hey, Facebook, show this to more people. That's essentially what it is. Whereas an ad, we're targeting exactly who we want to see that ad, and we're only showing it to those people. And that's why Facebook's so powerful for this, because people have been giving Facebook every little last drop of their life for 20 years now. So that has a lot of data. They've got a lot of data, and they can run very targeted ads and show to the right people. So you could make an ad campaign that specifically targeted, women over 40 with extra income in Drake area within 20 miles. You can get very specific, and who have an interest in yoga, or they have an interest in wellness, or they subscribe to a certain magazine or follow a certain personality on Facebook that would align with what you do. So yeah, Facebook ads are pretty cool. But that's not something I necessarily recommend. And right away, Carrie's established, starting to grow, so it might be a good idea to look into that. I've done a few Facebook ad campaigns. I'm certainly not an expert, and there's a lot to it. So we can talk about that some more and learn that together. Let's see. Anybody else here everyone who's joined. Thanks so much for joining. So great to see you. I love just talking about these subjects, about social media and websites and how it all can tie together. And when I visualize how it all is, I see a bicycle wheel and I see the hub in the middle. That's your website. And then all those spokes go out to the social media. They go out to real life. They go out to friends and family. Print advertising, if you are in print or whatever, all that should go back to that one central hub. And what's on that one central hub is everything that you're doing should be there. I talked about earlier, some people that maybe came in, how aggravating it is when you do find something that you are interested in, or a topic or a person, and you go and you're like, okay, I want to know more about what they're doing, and you try and find it. It's like, can't find it. Can't find it. Don't make people Google search for your stuff. Don't make them. If you post about like, this is just my opinion, of course, people do whatever they want, but if you post about a subject and you're an authority on a subject and you put a post out on social media, and then 24 hours it's dead, like, why wouldn't you want that on your website to just people to keep finding, and then drive traffic from there to your social media and vice versa, right? They talk to each other. So that's always something that bugs me. And that's like kind of my philosophy about everything I do, is just bring it all to one place. So I know, if you want to find out what I'm up to, you can just go to my website. You don't have to, you can follow me on social media, but what are you going to see my post? Are you going to see my post? I don't know. You might not. And you can sign up you can turn on the notifications, right? But maybe you don't like me enough to do that. I get it. You don't want to have notifications on. I kind of put some stuff out there that maybe people don't want to get notified every time, and that's okay. But if you do want to find out what I'm doing, you can always just go to my website, and it's there. It's all there. Everything I'm up to, I keep it updated. I post about something, I put it on my website. So on my website, my post from yesterday, talking about how I built this course with no experience, or built the workshop with no experience. That's a blog post on my website now. So you can search my social media, try and find it, or you can just go to my website. It's there, and you can have it all written out and watch the video. So I don't know. That's just how I like to think about things. It seems to be like kind of in the minority currently right now, but that's how I like to operate. All right. So I'm going to go ahead for another 10 minutes or so. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. I'm hopefully going to try and do this weekly, just in general Q&A, and have like a topic to discuss and kind of get people's feedback and thoughts on. Like, honestly, I would love to know people's thoughts on what I've been saying. I'm not the type of person that takes things personally as far as like having a discussion. I'm very open-minded in that way. I really like counterpoint of views, and I'm very understanding and empathetic to other point of views on all subjects. And I'm ready for someone to tell me that I need to do something different or change my mind on a subject. Like, I'm open to that all the time. So always a discussion here. I'm always willing to hear what people have to say about subjects and thoughts and that I bring up. Because I'm coming from like my point of view, which is like, I'm in left field, like way out there. I don't have any kind of corporate experience whatsoever. Never had a job that I sat at a desk at. Never. I've always been on my feet. Every job, I'm on my feet. And I've been a manager. I've run things, and I have dealt with people on a very extreme customer service level in person. So I have a huge skill set and all this stuff. And if I took something personally that someone said to me, nah. I've heard the worst of it. I've heard the worst. So always open to a discussion if anyone has opinions and everything. And I never attack anybody. I'm no. I'll have my thoughts on things, but yeah. So don't be afraid to drop a comment, Let's see, for the last 10 minutes here, what could I talk about? Maybe something else from the workshop that I was like really helped me when I was doing this process of just putting myself out there on social media. So the timeline was the big one for me. Like that was the big breakthrough. And once I realized like, oh, that's who I am. What? It just like all comes to clarity is the word, clarity. Never forget that word. Do you find clarity? It's easy. It's so easy. So let's see. I have my, the course, I created a workbook for it. Oh, sorry about the mic there. I created a workbook that was part of what I did because I knew it was going to be too much information to ingest and needed further exploration for the people who attended. So one of the things that I talk about in it that helped me as well is looking at who I follow and why I follow them. And that kind of is like a little peek inside who you are as well. Because I follow some pretty random accounts. I would probably say YouTube is where I really like to follow people and accounts. So I love YouTube for vloggers and really interesting documentary content and educational content. So I follow a lot of people on YouTube very actively, and I'm always excited about when they post a video, like I'm on it. So understanding how you interact with social media and the people that you follow and why am I following this person? Like, what about them? What is it about them that I'm like, I'm just drawn to this person. Why? And most of the time, kind of doing that analysis for myself, most of the time is because like they are just very knowledgeable and they're giving away their information. They're giving it away and their expertise, whatever subject it is. They're showing me literally how they do something. And I just find that fascinating. And that's the type of brain I have. I respond to that kind of stuff. I also really enjoy comedy. Like comedy is the way to get to my heart for sure. Like I have a wicked sense of humor. I'm just here staring at myself. So my sense of humor is a little bit muted when I'm in conversation with others. Like I can really, really enjoy that and respond to that. So those are the things that I noticed about myself, what I really enjoy on social media and how I interact with it. And looking at that, I'm like, okay, well, how can I incorporate what I like into what I do? And then it's not necessarily the topics and themes, but it's just about how you put yourself out there. Are you putting yourself out in the live stream? Are you letting people just come in with questions and say whatever you want and you react to it? Like, I love that because put me in a room, throw random things at me. I have an opinion on it. I can talk about it. I can discuss it. I can ask questions about it because I don't know everything. I'm happy to if I meet someone with a background that I don't know, I'm going to be asking questions about it because I'm curious in that way. So that's what I wanted to put out there on social media too. So that's where I kind of get these ideas from, is from the people I follow and what they're doing. So I'm influenced. I'm influenced. All right. So we're going to be wrapping up here in a second. Last chance to get any questions in. If you have a question about social media, you have a question about building an authentic audience, you have a question about a website, if you have a website question, or if you're using Squarespace specifically, I can really get into all the features of Squarespace lately because I'm kind of really deep into it. They have a new feature. I didn't even mention it earlier. They have a new feature where you can send invoices now and you can send quotes and estimates. I tried it out. It is so cool. It is so cool because before I was just sending people PayPal invoices. I still do, but I'm switching over to this new one. And you can send an invoice and it matches your website look, pulls in everything, and you can organize projects in there now. So it's almost like a mini customer management software, CMS, mini CMS in there, which is perfect for me because it's just me. I don't need to manage teams. It's just me and I have my clients that I work with. So now I can put them in Squarespace into my projects. It's called projects, and I can invoice them. I can keep track of all the stuff that we're doing. It's very cool. Very cool. There's still more features that they're coming out with. So I'm excited about that. Boy, I think I tapped everything I wanted to discuss. Did I get into what I was talking about with analyzing your influences, seeing what you like, what you respond to, and putting that into practice in what you do? Like if you're following somebody and they put out something that's like an incredible artwork or product or something, you're probably interested in purchasing that. They're putting it out there and showing the process, showing the process instead of saying, "Oh, soon I'm going to have this." Show yourself putting it together. Show yourself building it. Show yourself creating it. I try and do that. I'll tell you what I'm currently working on, and I'll be sharing it. I'm currently working on a course for, you're not ready for a full-on website, but you want something. So there's this great company that I also use for websites called Carrd, CARRD, and I am affiliated with them, but I don't have the link below or anything, so you can just go to their website. Carrd is a very simple, basic website, and you can throw up something very quickly and have it be very, very visually appealing and mobile responsive, which is important. So if you have a desktop or on a phone, that's very important when it comes to websites. So you can do that. But then also for people, if they build a basic Carrd website with just like about them, links to their social media, little bit of about page, contact form, this kind of stuff, and then having a way to put products on there, because it's not an online store, but you can create products and sell them on your Carrd site. So I wouldn't put a full-on online store on there, but having a place where you can put like one or two products and promote them, even if they're a limited edition, for example, you just have it available for a limited time, take it down, put on something new as an idea. So I'm working on that. Course is going to be next in line. So I'm working on that right now. It's very exciting. And I think it's a place where people can start to wrap their head around about having a website and the benefits of it, really. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody, for watching, tuning in. I appreciate it, all the messages. It's been wonderful. I'm hoping to do this every week. I haven't locked in as a time yet. So if there's another time that makes more sense, I might consider it. But for now, I will say thank you all so much for coming. So great seeing you all. Thank you for the amazing questions, and I'll see you soon. Bye.